our biblical proof series that will reveal how these three will usher in the Antichrist to attempt to dominate the world. Realize that while 75% of churches are preaching on three major things, emotions, money, and social issues, these demons are working behind the scenes for world domination by bringing all who do not submit to them into ruins. Skin color, prestige, and culture do not matter to these demonic forces because they want submission, obedience, and silence. In the shadows of global politics, a prophecy begins to unfold and repeat itself, echoing the ancient warnings found in Isaiah chapter 14 verses 4 to 20 and Job chapter 38 verses 4 to 7, which reveal the total rebellion of Lucifer when 1/3 of the angelic beings were kicked out of God's kingdom along with him. Now you can connect these basic operations of the devil with the recurring theme of what we are experiencing today. Understand Isaiah chapter 14 verses 12 to 16 and Ezekiel chapter 28 verses 12 to 19 reveal the fall of Satan. This is how you understand biblical prophecy when you understand that the same spirit operates in tyrannical rulers. Donald Trump, under the power of the king of Tyre and king of Babylon, a term depicting Satan, rises as a figure consumed by pride and wealth. His ambitions stretch beyond international borders. His influence, like the prince's, fosters an age of materialism and mayhem. Meanwhile, within the churches of America, where sermons focus more on prosperity than on spiritual vigilance, congregations grow numb to deeper truths. They reject sound doctrine, and this sets the stage for a darker power to emerge, manipulating nations with promises of wealth, partnership, and security. First, they must cause chaos, destruction, and massive job losses in the millions, inflation and homelessness through fires, creating chaos in the midst of natural disasters. As it is written in Ezekiel 28:16, you were filled with lawlessness and violence, and in Isaiah 14:12 to 19, in reference to Trump, how you have been cut down to the ground, you who weakened and laid low the nations, O blasphemous, satanic king of Babylon. Isaiah 14:13 references Elon Musk. And you said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the Mount of Assembly in the uttermost north. This, as a footnote, is the goal of SpaceX. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 14, references Putin of Russia. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. This is why Elon Musk comes from the birthplace of Pretoria, South Africa. He holds South African, Canadian, and US citizenship, but he has no true authorization to be a federal government administrator. Ask yourself, what do you associate with South Africa? Apartheid, terrorism, and the oppression of people from 1948 to 1994. Donald Trump has given him more power than the vice president. Vladimir Putin of Russia has always positioned himself as a key player in this grand design to take over Europe, Ukraine, and all surrounding areas. Vladimir Putin has terrorized Russia from 2012 to 2025. Today, all three are now acting as catalysts for the rise of the Antichrist. Musk's advancements in technology provide tools for global surveillance and control of citizens' movements and activities, with media to promote his messages of tyranny. While Putin's military aggression seeks to restore Russia's imperial prominence by destroying Ukraine and any other area of land that resists his tyranny. Donald Trump now has total control of the White House and Congress, rewriting laws to protect his own interests. Trump can watch storms and disasters destroy major cities and rural areas, and now deny them funds based on their submission and commitment to the king. All three men's combined efforts fracture international alliances while weakening NATO and isolating Western democracies. As tariffs and a shrinking government tighten their grip, economies falter, making nations more susceptible to authoritarian rule. The Antichrist, all the while working behind the scenes as the puppet master, seizes this opportunity. He positions himself as the world's savior, offering order in exchange for absolute destruction. This is the 4-year plan of the Antichrist, and these 3 men are his chosen ones. Remember, Jesus had his inner circle, Peter, James, and John. In 2025, Satan's inner circle includes Putin, Trump, and Musk. The conquest lingers with Ukraine, a strategic jewel coveted by both Russia and Trump. Behind closed doors, deals are struck. Trump strategically gets Putin what he wants, Ukraine as a prize. Half of Ukraine's wealth lines Trump's pockets, while Russia claims the land. Trump will refuse to provide any military support. These 3 will expand their influence across Europe. Meanwhile, within America, the government shrinks to a shell of its former self, stripped of checks and balances. Millions are not laid off like the Great Depression, but they are fired in the midst of a totally inflated economy. Homelessness floods all of the major cities and suburbs of America. As Isaiah 14:17 says, "Who made the world like a wilderness and overthrew its cities? Who would not permit his prisoners to go home?" Democracy gives way to dictatorship worldwide as fear and economic desperation silence dissent. With America and Russia aligned under authoritarian rule, the world stands poised on the brink of a new age, one where the Antichrist rules not just through wealth and emotion, but through control of land, borders, and the very fabric of human society. The tool is what Hitler used, fear and intimidation. In the entire scheme of things, we must always remember what God specifically said concerning the plans of everything discussed thus far. Isaiah 14:15-16. Yet you shall be brought down to Sheol, hell, to the innermost recesses of the pit, the region of the dead. Those who see you will gaze at you and consider you, saying, "Is this the man who made the earth tremble, who shook kingdoms?" All of their plans will not work because they specifically design evil every hour. But these 3 men under the power of Satan will never realize that in all that they design, God has already orchestrated their doom and destruction.